Hi guys, the biggest party in the Republic of Ireland and in Northern Ireland, Sinn Féin, had their Ard Fheis or party conference on Saturday where one of the main speakers talked about the Northern Ireland Protocol and how the 6 counties should rejoin the other 26 and be part of the European Union once again. She talked about having members of the European Parliament representing the people in the 6 counties, but also warned the EU against trusting the British government. Some pretty fiery stuff. Have a listen to this.
This Ard Fheis should also acknowledge the parliamentarians, the diplomats, the officials, the party representatives and organisations across European countries who are in attendance with us here today. And they will be listening to all that is being said about the need to prepare for the transition to the next phase of our peace process and to properly plan for self-determination, constitutional change, reunification and national reconciliation. As Sinn Féin's representative to Europe, I am tasked with stimulating the Irish unity debate, drumming up support and giving it due prominence across continental Europe, because there is no doubt that an Ireland nation, united and free, independent, will resonate across the 7 continents of the world. Irish unity will be global news. Brexit has made the partition of Ireland Europe's problem too. Now, we warned the EU. No one knows the British better than us. And we warned the EU not to trust the British establishment. Therefore, it is in Europeans' interests to adopt a positive position in support of Irish unity, with the north of Ireland returning to full membership of the EU, with MEPs from the north back in the European Parliament. Now, wouldn't that be much better for Europe than having to face the protocol hostility from Britain, which will be forever present in a partitioned Ireland?
So, some very interesting stuff there. And I've said before that the unionist community need to be on board here. The unionist community need to be represented in a united Ireland. A united Ireland is going to take place. Okay, there are pragmatists in the unionist community. There are also the DUP and the TUV. But I think the pragmatists need to step forward. It's probably very uncomfortable for them. It's outside their comfort zone to talk about a united Ireland, but it's going to happen. We're seeing greater unity when it comes to trade between the 2 parts of Ireland. This is a consequence of Northern Ireland having access to the single market, and with the exception of London, Northern Ireland is the only part of the United Kingdom that is returning to growth. Northern Ireland is in a unique position where it has access to both the UK internal market and the European single market. But the writing is on the wall, and I think there is a real responsibility on not just the British government, but on unionists in particular, to accept this, to be part of this, because if they're not, what we're going to see later on is we're going to see a backlash from the loyalist community. What the unionist leaders need to be speaking to the loyalists in their community, the extreme elements, and saying, we want to be part of this. Partition is coming to an end. The state of Northern Ireland is coming to an end. And if we're not part of the next, we can't live in the past. We have to live in the future. If we're not part of the future, we're going to, it's going to result in pain and suffering for the people of Northern Ireland. We saw how it was on the nationalist or on the Catholic side in Northern Ireland in the past, the pain and suffering. That pain and suffering is going to be on the unionist side if they don't speak about a united Ireland. There is this hope I think, within the unionist community, that if we don't talk about it, it's not going to happen. That's living in a fantasy world. There's more and more support for rejoining the European Union in Northern Ireland. So you have to, the only way in at the moment is part of a united Ireland. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.